We're taking a project that lacks inspiration and redesigning it into something that is beautiful, functional, and, dare I say, fun. You don't want to miss this one. I love when fans reach out and ask me to build things. Unfortunately, some ideas are not good for YouTube. Sometimes they lack creativity or they aren't inspiring. Those are the challenges I faced with this project. Until now, it seemed like no one ever considered that a firewood rack could be more than just a functional place to hold firewood. Would you even care if I do build the best firewood rack ever? And this is exactly what was going through my head as I cut down some pressure-treated lumber for this project. Knowing what I know now, I'm happy I didn't give up. I'm happy I get to share this with you. Because, as you will see here soon, this project turned out way better than I could have ever imagined. And I think you'll agree. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, then you already know. I like to avoid measuring at all costs. Here, I cut one of the pieces I need to length. Then I label this piece with the letter T so I remember it's the template. Next, I use this template to mark out the remaining pieces that I need for that part of the project. This eliminates the need to measure more than once for each piece of the project. I built this entire project using a circular saw and a speed square instead of a miter saw, so you can build it yourself. Everything you need is linked down below. I ended up with 6 2x6s that are 36 inches in length and 6 2x4s that are 56 inches in length. I chose these lengths to make the main frame of the firewood rack so I wouldn't have a lot of waste in the end. Now, it doesn't look like it here, but as I start to assemble these frames, I am panicking on the inside. This is because I know there will be a point where I won't be able to face screw these frames together, and this is going to create weak spots. These weak spots are sure to fail on a firewood rack holding hundreds of pounds of firewood. Now, I did come up with a solution for this, but first I used a speed square to get all the corners aligned. Next, I hooked them together with some Titebond 3 wood glue and one 3-inch deck screw. Then I double-checked the frame was square by measuring the diagonals. Finally, I add another screw to each corner. Now I can build another frame on top of the first frame using the same technique. As I start to hook the individual frames together, some of the screws need to go in at an angle. And this is exactly why I'm so concerned. This is not a strong connection. Now, I still didn't know if this thing was going to break in half, and I decided it would look better if it had some legs. But first, this is where you want to stop and think. The length of the legs will determine the final height of this project. This is exactly what makes this project so unique and so special. I settled on 40 inches for my legs, then cut these out of 2x4s. I attached these legs using some more glue and 3-inch deck screws. Also notice how I use a scrap piece of 2x4 to get an overhang down each side. I know this doesn't look very strong, and honestly, it isn't. In fact, I'm sure you're yelling at your screen right now trying to get me to stop. But I promise, the next step will reveal the final secret that will make this project incredibly sturdy and strong. And here is the genius of this design. Add one more 2x4 brace piece on the top and bottom of each end. This provides a place to brace and screw all of the frame pieces together, ensuring it won't break in half. This also provides another place to securely anchor the legs to. Plus, this detail gives it a nice finished look on each end. Crisis averted. Impressed? Click that like button. Now, you may already see it here, but at this point, I still didn't see the full potential of this firewood rack. All I knew at this point is that I would be dreading the next hour while I stained this entire project. I used Cabot Black Semi-Solid Outdoor Wood Stain, and even though I hate painting, I have to admit, I was impressed once I was done. This stain gives this piece a burnt wood look that seems very appropriate for a firewood rack. What do you think about this look? I was still clueless about how cool this project was going to turn out in the end. But first, I needed to add some additional blocking before I could add the top. I decided to use some leftover Trex decking I had laying around my shop for the top. Pressure-treated 1x decking boards would be another great option here. And with the blocking stained, I could attach the top using camo deck screws. I always tried to screw through the rib portion of each piece to provide maximum strength. Unfortunately, I didn't feel like a mitered corner would be supported well enough in this application, and that's why I went with the picture frame edge instead. Now, you can see the grooves on a few of these end pieces. Just be aware of that if you go with this look. I think it still looks great, and this wouldn't be an issue if you decided to use pressure-treated deck boards instead. And that is when it finally hit me, like a ton of firewood. This isn't just another non-inspirational firewood rack. It has the ability to store wood of different sizes. Even better, this is a bar, a food buffet, a place to play games, hold everything you need for s'mores, or gather all the things you need to start a fire. Let me know in the comments down below what you would use this bonus space for. But first, if you want to see another amazing project that will impress your family, friends, and neighbors, then click on the video that just popped up on the screen. I will see you over there. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.